Hello again, everyone. Edwin Warren back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about Mercury in conjunct the North Node in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They were a little bit concise. Some people may refer to them as snappy, so what I decided to do is make another series on them, in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up as well, if you have Mercury in conjunct the North Node in a natal chart, well, there may be an adjustment, which is the inconjunct, may be needed between communications and one's future, which is the North Node. Now, communications being Mercury, future, North Node. Now, one or the other may be overemphasized. There may be times when you're just dominated by your general communications in your life and not putting enough focus and attention on your future, or it could be the other way around. Sometimes you may just go to another extreme, and the future may, focusing on where your future is going to be, may dominate, and then you may not be communicating as much, or it could be either too much thinking about one's future and not enough thinking, and especially if it's like maybe planning for, trying to determine what that future is going to be. Now, the thing is, if the North Node is in, let's say it's in the zodiac sign Cancer as an example, the future that one has maybe tied in, with cooking, culinary, restaurant work. It may be home caregiving or home remodeling, renovation, real estate. It could be some work that involves laundry or plumbing, as some examples. If the North Node, say, is in Virgo, one's future may be tied in to something service related. It could be diagnostic work of some kind, something with health and fitness, analytics, statistics, doing something as a professional organizer. It may be some field that strongly involves compartmentalizing, as some examples. Now, another thing too about Mercury in conjunct the North Node in a natal chart, there may be an imbalance, which is the inconjunct, between activities that are associated with siblings, cousins, and neighbors, which is Mercury, and those that may figure prominently in one's future, which is the North Node. There may be times where, siblings, cousins, and neighbors may monopolize your time and energy, and there may not be, enough focus and attention on those that could play an integral role in your future, which is the North Node. And other times you may be focusing more on those people, the ones that can be prominent in the future, and not enough attention being given to siblings, cousins, and neighbors, which is Mercury. Now, let's say if the North Node, let's say it's in Capricorn as an example, those people that are prominent in your future, one or more, may actually be a Capricorn sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be, people that are very serious, have good powers of concentration, are structured, disciplined, consistent, responsible, ambitious, career-oriented, as as an example. Now, another thing too is that any issues you may have, the hands, the arms, nerves, lungs, breathing, which is Mercury, may either have a strong, may affect, have strong impact on, matters with the North Node, or none whatsoever. There may be times when, say, any issues that I described, may have that stronger impact on, matters with the North Node, which can include, attaining your mission, your purpose, the future, the destiny, the development of the positive attributes that are connected with the North Node. Then there may be other times when you just go about what you got to do in terms of pursuing your future, and it has no effect on you. So, there should be a balance and equilibrium between the two, because naturally, if there's any issues with the hands and arms, I mean, that could affect a lot of activities. So, it's important just to keep in mind not to ignore or be oblivious to those issues if they do occur. But at the same time, if you're able, it's like if you're going to pursue, whatever it is connected with your north node, it's important to just, make sure, that those issues, that you have, are taken care of. If it's nothing overly serious, you may, be able to pursue, matters that are pertaining to your north node with little or no difficulty. But it's still important to keep in mind, taking care of those issues as well. So, because it could either have, issues, again, the hands, arms, nerves, lungs, and breathing, which is Mercury, may either have a strong impact on you attaining, what's going to be going on with the north node, or none whatsoever. You have to, you don't want to be oblivious to those matters, but at the same time, it's important, if possible, not to be dominated by them to the point where it really hinders you from attaining your purpose. So anyway, the thing about this is that, you either may be bombarded with short journeys, which is Mercury, to help fulfill your destiny, which is the north node, or it may be, then you may go a prolonged time without without having those short journeys to help fulfill the destiny. Now the thing is, somebody may wonder, well, what does one have to do with the other? Well, if there's short journeys, which is Mercury, many may be taken to places and going to to spots where people that might be able to help give you insight in terms of what you're trying to fulfill in terms of the north node purpose. And there may be other times when you may just become completely stagnant and not take any short journeys in order to help fulfill that destiny, which is the north node. So if the north node is in Scorpio, as an example, that destiny may be tied in, something connected with tax examination, insurance work, working as a coroner, a surgeon, something with locksmithing, forensics investigation, or even the occult, which includes astrology. Now, another thing is that you may either frequently think, which is Mercury, about your mission and purpose, which is the north node. Then other times I would call it being mentally oblivious to this and not think at all about this. So it could either be where you're so dominated by thoughts that are pertaining to your mission and purpose, which is your north node. Then other times you may not think about it at all. Now, if the north node is in Aries, as an example, that mission and purpose may be tied in with some expression of leadership prowess and ability, and maybe doing something in an Aries related field, whether it be welding, carpentry, helmet, hat design, something with combative sports, which can include judo, wrestling, boxing, karate, or even volatile sports, which can include football or hockey, as some examples. Now, another thing too is that you may either excessively emphasize communication, writing, manual dexterity, which is Mercury, in that second half of life, which is where you generally express a lot of that north node energy. Then other times you may not emphasize it whatsoever. If Mercury, say, is in Pisces, as an example, writings may be connected with poetry, dancing, photography, the paranormal, spirituality, or even the metaphysical, which includes astrology. Also too, there may either be an exorbitant amount of time analyzing, which is Mercury, what you're moving toward, which is the north node. Then there may go you may go through extensive periods without even analyzing what you're moving toward whatsoever. Let's say if the the North Node is an Aquarius, as an example, what you're moving toward, maybe something connected with humanitarianism, altruistic, selfless actions. It may be doing something with friends, group-related activities, environmental work, astrology, astronomy, computers, electronics, aviation, innovation, or meteorology, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Leonard saying, stay well.